Welcome back to the Steve Champagne Radio Show. Welcome back. I Love Music Army. Hey, new viewers to the channel. Hi, how you doing? We are glad that you decided to watch this video today as we discuss this Vince Neil, Nikki Sixx, Mick Mars, Motley Crue drama, which is getting ugly fast. I mean, throwing somebody under the bus would be an understatement here with what's going on with this Mick Mars, Vince Neil, Nikki Sixx, Motley Crue drama. This is getting ugly, it's getting nasty, and it's kind of unusual when you think about it, because usually it's the lead singer that has a problem with the band. Here we have a guitar player that has a serious problem with the band. But before I get into that story, I invite you to join us. The I Love Music Army. You love music and entertainment? Well, we would love for you to be a part of our channel, our internet musical global family of friends where I read every single comment. I do. I love it. I love interacting with everybody. It's fun and exciting for me. I don't know about you, but get that keyboard chorus down there and let's talk about this Motley Crue drama, shall we? Now, some of you may or may not know Vince Neil has been outspoken as of late. He divulged the fact that he had a stroke at Christmas time. He had to go on a walker. He had to do all this stuff. He's been doing interviews like crazy, wild, mad. So when he came out with this story that was just reported, he's broken his silence really on Mick Mars and the lawsuit and everything that's been going on. Mick Mars claims that Motley Crue has been faking their live shows using backing tracks. Now, this rumor's kind of been floating around before, and Vince Neil says Mick Mars was the only one that was on tape. But I'm going to break it down because it gets a lot uglier than this. I mean, a guitar player on tape? He's not even playing? Okay. Well, let me tell you and read you the story here, what's going on. Longtime guitarist Mick Mars has been touring with Motley Crue ever since the very beginning. He's the one that started this. And he says now that the band was ripping him off financially, taking advantage of him, and even worse, they weren't even playing live on stage. According to Mick Mars, he said Nikki Sixx doesn't play one single note during an entire stadium tour. I mean, and that's a big accusation, really. That's pretty big when you say the bass player or somebody didn't play. I get the backing vocals and things like that, but when you say the bass player doesn't play one single note, that's pretty big. Now, Vince Neil has come out and said, no, we've never done that ever, and the only reason that that's been said right now is because we fired Mick Mars and he's pissed off. He said, and I quote, I want to read this right, he was the only one that was ever on tape. When he started going off on some weird tangent, our sound guy just turned him off and turned the tape on. So, according to Vince, the entire controversy's in Mick's head. Nikki Sixx has chimed in on this feud that's going on social media and in public interviews. He said that he's ashamed of Mick. He's ashamed of Mick Mars. And he said that the band has used background tracks to enhance their live shows and make them bigger, but insists that they played live. Now, Mick Mars has chimed back and he said that he had a lot of times problems with his in-ear monitors, which led to mistakes. And at that point, that's when the band started using pre-recorded tracks. And he swears that on the last tour he did with Motley Crue, Nikki Sixx didn't play one note. Now, before I finish this story up, I just want to remind everybody that this is an interactive program, so I have some questions for all of you out there. Who do you believe? Mick Mars, Vince Neil, Nikki Sixx? I'm going to tell you my thoughts. First off, let's start with the pre-recorded track thing. There's no way they could be using pre-recorded vocal tracks because we've heard Vince Neil sing and it hasn't been good. So if they were using tracks, I mean, they could have used better ones. That's for sure, because you can't sing like that, out of key, missing words, etc., etc., etc. I will defend Vince to a point. If he was having health issues, he had a stroke, well, man, that can lead to all kinds of disasters. But that means, why wouldn't you use backing tracks if you had all these health problems, voice problems, things like that? So they couldn't have been faking the lead vocal part. Now, as far as the bass part of the guitar, these days, a lot of concerts, in case you didn't know, the reason why they use a lot of click tracks is because they synchronize the lights with the click and everything's all computerized. So it all goes together. Instead of having guys manually hit buttons, boom, the song starts, they hit a start button and the whole thing goes on. And that's why a lot of bands, one of the reasons why bands use click tracks. Now, as far as I didn't play the guitar at all part, with Nikki Sixx, Vince saying that Mick Mars, they would turn him off coming through the speakers and the sound guy would turn the track on. I don't know how that could be done. And be, it's beyond my capabilities as a sound tech. And trust me, I've worked many a live sound production with national acts, really. And to be able to, in the middle of the song, realize that the guitar player is going off on some tangent and go, oh, okay, he's lost it. Let's punch the song in. Well, how do you know what song that he's going to go off on a tangent on? What do you have ready? It would be extreme. And then punch it in and catch it up and make sure it's all synced together. Unless, I don't know, unless they really were using background tracks, hit the button, and then if somebody was screwing up, okay, killed their part, raised the other part. I guess that's probably the only way you could do it. I'm not really sure how it would be done, but what do you think? I know there's a lot of drama going out there, and a lot of people love to talk about this drama, because I definitely do. You learn things about these bands you never thought you would ever learn, thanks to the internet and all these interviews out there now. But what do you think? I read every single comment. And whatever you put in the comment section, whether you agree or disagree me, will be fun for everybody to interact with. And that's why I invite you to join us. Our internet musical global family of friends. We talk about everything when it comes to music and entertainment. Now we're doing some sports stuff. Very soon we got live shows coming up. We're still preparing that, as it's hard to get good help these days. Just ask Motley Crue. So it's been the question really is who you believe. I would love to know who you believe. In the meantime, I say to you, keep the music playing and the good times rolling. We'll be back at the C Champagne Radio Show. Peace with chicken grease, baby. Woo!